Okay, so I know this is going on in America, but it's actually kind of started to spill over in Canada. We're going to get to that. So that's the Free Palestine protest that's going on at Columbia University in New York has already spilled over to McGill University in Canada. So let's watch this.
That they are chanting include things like divest and disclose. Of course, this is in response to Columbia University President Manosh Shafiq, her statement that was released earlier this morning saying that the university will not divest funds away from Israel. Another thing that sparked this protest, a notice that was given to the students in the encampment. Now, that said that the students must leave by 2 p.m. We heard from Sky Fox that it's now 2:30. They have not left. The encampment still looks the same as it does, and they are still holding strong onto the campus. Now, as far as police officers, we saw dozens of police officers form outside before this group of protesters got here, so they were anticipating this large group arriving. Now, this comes after Columbia University said that they wouldn't get the NYPD involved after more than 100 protesters had been arrested on campus for trespassing, but it doesn't appear that these police officers are going to go onto the campus. They do not have riot gear on. They do not have helmets on. They were just helping with the barricades that you can see over here. These barricades had been removed a couple of days ago. They are now back here just to help with the orderly demonstration, to help with pedestrians walking so that it doesn't spill over onto the street. Cars are passing by. This is a very busy area. I heard a police officer tell people to get back onto the sidewalk.
And this is what it looked like just about 5 days ago.
Spreading coast to coast as pro-Palestinian agitators step up their campaign. Protesters clashed with police at New York University as cops tore down a tent city.
Leave the plaza now or you will be arrested for trespass.
150 were arrested as police filled the streets around the university campus in Greenwich Village.
Our street!
And the protests continue today, including here at NYU. But check this out. Over my shoulder, you can see the university is actually constructing a large wooden wall outside of the Stern Business School. This is going to span the entire entrance to the school, blocking the area where the pro-Palestine protesters set up their encampment just last night. Clearly, the university is concerned about that same thing happening all over again. Uptown at Columbia University, this is the scene inside the huge tent city on campus. Dozens of tents are packed tightly together and conditions are becoming unsanitary. All classes at the university are now hybrid for the last 5 days of the semester, and the toxic atmosphere of anti-Semitism is prompting some of Columbia's billionaire donors to withhold their financial support.
Okay, so that's the U.S. right now. Let's see what's going on here in Canada. It's a little bit nicer, but this is McGill University.
Above all, we are all human, and what is going on in Gaza is inhumane.
It's day 2 here in Montreal of an encampment set up on the grounds of McGill University in support of Palestinians in Gaza. Student protests over the Israel-Hamas war began popping up on major U.S. campuses last week following the arrest of more than 100 demonstrators at Columbia University in New York. Protesters here in Montreal seen waving Palestinian flags with signs calling for a ceasefire and demanding Montreal University's divest investments from companies the protesters say are advancing Israel's military efforts in Gaza.
This is a solidarity encampment, but it is as well an encampment that is meant to apply economic pressure and media pressure.
The encampments are the first of its kind in Canada so far, and since yesterday, the number of tents has grown. Protests were peaceful, with people bringing in food and water for students.
It's beginning to grow, and we're encouraging the expansion, and we have found a lot of support in community and within each other.
Montreal police were present near the McGill campus on Saturday, but as of Sunday afternoon, none were visible from what City News observed. Only campus security was on site. Ziad Abisab, a student from Concordia University who spent the night in one of the tents, says police presence isn't necessary.
This horrible culture of bringing police on campus is horrible for students. It's horrible for McGill. It's horrible for the reputation of Montreal. It's horrible for the reputation of education to bring police on campus and to threaten students with arrest.
Students say the protests are indefinite until the universities meet their demands. McGill said on their website Sunday that the university is private property, and despite student protesters having the right to freedom of expressions, setting up the tents without approval violates the school's policies. stating our top priority is ensuring the health and safety of our community by minimizing the risk of escalation and any potential harm that may ensue. That is why we have chosen to engage in discussions with lawyers retained by McGill students in the encampment to arrive at a swift resolution. Concordia University did not get back to us in time for broadcast.
We are doing this because our people in Gaza are in desperate need of us.
And then today, Jagmeet Singh was asked about it, and this is what he had to say about the whole issue.
And just on the McGill encampments in English, are you saying these encampments should be dismantled? Are you saying students should be allowed to stay on? Are you concerned that there have been anti-Semitic comments made at these places?
So first of all, yes, I'm very concerned about anti-Semitic comments. That's wrong. Hateful comments, that's wrong. In general, I support fundamentally the right to protest. I support students' right to protest. A lot of our history and a lot of the incredible work that's been done in terms of raising concerns around the world, protests have been done by young people. So we support fundamentally the right to protest. We also are deeply concerned by some of the concerns raised by members of the Jewish community about their lack of safety or their concerns about their safety and security, concerns about hate speech and anti-Semitism. We share those concerns. So we believe there needs to be a way to strike the important right, protect the right to protest, and at the same time ensure that people, members of the Jewish community, are safe, are free from hateful messages, and free from anti-Semitism.